All right, we're going to switch gears now and turn to a local current event that's happening next Saturday in Moline. A fundraiser event will be at the Spotlight Theater for a night of comedy benefiting children's hospitals. And if you've ever watched Family Guy or American Dad, you've probably heard the voice of our next guest. It's Bobby Kesselman, longtime Hollywood voice actor and executive director of the Hope Always Foundation. Bobby, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh my God, it's amazing to be here, Shelby. Thanks for having me.
Okay, I was wondering what voice you were gonna use. Okay,
I don't even know sometimes either.
before we get into next weekend's event, let's start with you. How long have you been voice acting? What shows have you all worked on?
So luckily, I started in 2004. I was a stand-up comic for a long time, from like 98 to around that time, and wasn't able to really get, it was very lonely being a stand-up comic. And so I started doing improv, and thanks to Second City in Los Angeles, I ended up getting a audition for Family Guy, and I ended up as the background actor for a lot of their shows. Or I'm sorry, it was actually American Dad at first, because Family Guy had been canceled. So I started doing a couple episodes of American Dad, and then Family Guy came back. And I lucked out that my voice sounds enough like Seth's that when the episodes are done, I'll come in and sort of finish them out. Like if Peter Griffin falls down the stairs, I'll be like, oh.
Oh my God.
So it's really dependent on what the cartoon is doing. But I've been really lucky to got over 700 episodes of American Dad and Family Guy.
Wow. And you should know we were showing some video and some photos when you made the noise of him falling down the stairs. So it was just like watching TV, like we couldn't see you actually make
Perfect.
it. It was perfect. All right, beyond the Hollywood glamour, you also started your own nonprofit. So tell me about the Hope Always Foundation.
So glad to. And again, thank you so much for having me. The Hope Always Foundation is a nonprofit organization that gives cultivated digital tablets to pediatric patients in children's hospitals, and we also give the tablets out to Ronald McDonald's houses all around the country. So right now we have tablets at Children's Hospital of Orange County, Ronald McDonald House, Los Angeles, and Pasadena. And the tablets are curated so they have no social media, no YouTube, and no Google search. So whenever you turn it on, it's just 100 of the best movies, TV shows, and we have something called the relaxation station, which is very calming music. Because we had heard that when kids are going through, when they're about to go under anesthesia or they're going into surgery, their heart rate really increases and they're at their highest form of anxiety. So we've also tried to develop a musical content farm that lowers their heart rate, makes it more soothing and calming before they go into surgery and when they come out. So there's a consistency to it. Because we had heard the term they were frozen in fear, and that really scared me. So this has been about 20 years in the making of wanting to make this come true. And then in the last about year or so, I've really had some incredible partners to make it really work well.
And now you're expanding into some Illinois children's hospitals, which is why you're coming to Moline next Saturday. Comedy Sports will be performing, and then you'll be giving a talk. What are you going to talk about?
Well, I'm going to talk about all the things I've done since I've been in Hollywood. And just really going through a lot of the voices and, oh, nobody cares. Yes, they do. So it's just kind of talking about my experience and wanting to give back a little more understanding of what actually happens in Hollywood or in voiceover, and answer a bunch of questions and have a lot of fun with the people of the Quad Cities. I grew up in the Skokie Evanston area, so Illinois is, and my dad went to Drake, so Illinois and Iowa have been a huge part of my life, even though I skedaddled to California as soon as I realized you don't have to live in winter in Illinois anymore.
Well, you are picking a great time to come back. It's fantastic weather here right now.
That's what I heard. It sounds amazing.
Bobby, thank you so much for joining us today. Bobby will be joining us in studio on our 11 o'clock show next week on Friday. So we'll see you then, Bobby.
Giggity. All right. Thank you, Shelby.
Once again, this will be next Saturday, $25 for 2 hours of fun. We'll have all the details and a link to get your tickets on WQAD.com underneath the As Seen on TV tab.